Russell, maybe mix things up a bit this week. The players were obviously, it's been well documented, taken away to Loch Lomond and stuff. Give us the thought process there. Is it at the stage where you need to try different things and maybe get it together?
No, I think it's always been the plan. It's just been timing to do it. So I think this city's so intense, the club's so intense. I think to step away from it sometimes is a good thing. Lads can take a breath, actually spend some time together where they're not just playing football and being worked. And so I think it was good. I really enjoyed it. I think if we did it when we're winning, no one says a word, and you can be perceived either way. I've done it every club we've been at, with various things, not always the sea or the lock because you're not close enough. But I just think it's good for the lads. There was a lightness to them. They spent a lot of time together. We had a long walk. They had a little dip. We didn't swim in there. Well, a few did. A few enjoyed it a lot and spent a lot of time in there. But the rest, I said to him, it's just about you have to take a breath in there, otherwise it's going to really hurt. And we're going to experience a bit of pain together, which we have done. And then we'll get through it. And the potential for growth in the group and getting through this period is so big. So I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I'd been ill last week, so the first walk I've done, I'm still sore now. But I think the lads really enjoyed it. And it was good. I enjoyed it. Does
it maybe feed into some of the stuff you said post-match where it's maybe not all about the tactical side of the game, it maybe is trying to work on that other side and find ways ultimately to get out of the situation?
Yeah, it's about looking after these young men as human beings first and foremost. So I think when you get to my age and you experience lots in the game as a player and stuff, you can stand there and take pretty much anything, to be honest. So I think it was about trying to get them to understand a little bit of like, you know, that when you're in this bubble and here all the time, the intensity of it is really difficult. And to play the way we want to play sometimes on the pitch is really difficult. And I said to you, there's so many young men feeling their way into their Rangers career in difficult circumstances. So many games, lack of training time, trying to learn through playing matches under big scrutiny. And we've had some tough moments. So I think all of it is just to help them and help. This is why we became coaches, and definitely why I became a coach, to help players, to try and maximise what they have and show what they have. And sometimes with the intensity of football, it's really difficult to take stock and step back a little bit and have some perspective. So I hope Monday gave us that, and it set us up for a really good week. They've been brilliant.
How are you feeling in your position now a couple of days on? We obviously spoke at length about the level of negativity in the stadium. The difficulty is it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. We'll have a planned protest outside the stadium before the game. How are you finding that?
It's just, for me, it's just like it's a really difficult balance, because it hurts professionally because we're working so hard to try and give the supporters what they want. Is a team that wins and wins a lot and does it in a certain way. So I'm as frustrated, more frustrated than anyone, because we're the guys ultimately that are in charge of that. And with the results and some of the performances, been really frustrated, really difficult. And then being in here and listening to someone tell me the team doesn't look like it's coached is difficult, because I think the one thing that we've always had with any of our teams is they have a certain way of doing things, whether you believe in it or you like it or not. They definitely look a certain way, which takes a lot of time on the training pitch. So we'll get there with this team. The fans' protests and stuff I can't control at all, so I don't spend any time. I have to respect it. I have to understand their frustration and their annoyance, but I feel every bit of it as well. But I do think it's an amazing opportunity for us as a team to come through this period and to grow through it and to be so strong from it. And hopefully at that point, then everyone will come together. We just need to win football matches. So the protests and stuff like that, I can't take it personally, because I don't know any of them, and they don't know me, and they don't know how hard we're working. But I think the people inside the building, I feel incredibly well supported. The players, the staff, ownership, and as long as that continues, then it'll be fine.
Russell, I was just going to ask you that point, if you can get a result this weekend, if you can come through the tough week that this has been, how big could that be for the players' mindset and the psychology that you've been talking about this week? Yeah,
individually it'll be huge for some of them. I think we've had a tough period at every club we've been at, because we've always gone into a club that is very rarely in football. You go into a club that is really clicking, and you go in and just try and add your own spin on it. So you go into clubs most of the time because there's a problem or they're not happy with something. And every club we've been at, we've got because we do things in a certain way. So that was the reason we came here, to do things in a certain way, which the ownership and Kevin and everyone felt that this club needs a certain way of doing things. We haven't quite got there yet, so that's been frustrating. But every club we've been at, when you get through a tough period, the potential then for what's on the other side has been immense, and it will be even bigger here because of the size of it all and the collective energy. So we can change that by winning football matches and putting proper performance. So and actually sometimes the more noise there is, the more opinion there is actually easier to ignore. So because it just becomes a big blur, and it's much harder for the people around me, like my family and stuff, to deal with than it is for us, because it's a professional thing you have to accept.
Andrew Cavanagh's flown back in as an unscheduled visit. Some people might look at that as being ominous, but how do you look at it?
Yeah, no, I knew he was coming a couple of weeks ago, so no, he's been great. He'll watch training today as he does when he comes in, but him and Parag and all the guys have been amazing in their support for what we're doing.
The anxiety that you mentioned and the players not being able to deal with it, what steps are you taking to try and stop that? Because it doesn't seem as if that anxiety is going to fade away at all.
We walked up a hill and swam in the cold water, mate, so we'll be all right now.
In terms of in the stadium, like, is it
nothing? We just have to work. Seriously, we just have to work and actually stick to the work. So we've always been better at early on in the second half in games so far, because we take a breath, we sit back, we watch a few clips of the game, and then remind the guys what we worked on. So we have to start that way. We have to start with the conviction and courage to do what we actually want to do and be the team we want to be. And I believe we'll get there.
You mentioned, Russell, your family there. I mean, just how difficult, on a personal level, was last week for them, because, most of us were here last week. We heard the chants, we heard the cries. That must be as hard for you than anything else to try and reassure them and comfort them.
Yes, that's the personal bit that is difficult, because people worry about you, and I think they read. Well, I don't read any of it, so they do, because they want to feel like some connection with it, because I'm a long way away from them. So, but I think last week is a lot of perspective. Like, I wasn't very well. I got out of bed on Thursday and Friday to take the session and went back to bed. I had a chest infection all week. My daughter's been in hospital for 3 nights this week, but it's not like that gives you perspective, because it's difficult seeing your kids poorly and all that stuff. But like, I read a few things my mum sent me saying how unwell I looked or beaten up after the game. It's because I'd been in bed all week. I wanted to sit down at 60 minutes, but I felt I couldn't, because I was getting shouted at by a lot of people, and it would have looked a certain way. So you have to be aware of all of that. But honestly, for us, you have to accept it. Coming to a club like this, I knew the intensity of it was part of the excitement and the challenge of coming here and choosing this job over others. So if you want to enjoy it when it's going well, you have to accept it when it's not as well. So for us, fine. For the families, they have to be used to it, because I want to be a manager for a very, very long time. So they're just going to have to find a way to deal with it.
In those tough moments, is there people that you rely on, either in the game or out, when times are tough and everything's been questioned about you personally and as professionally? Is there people in the game that you turn to?
I've had some amazing messages in the last week of support from people I played with, people I've worked with, players we've managed and coached, ex-players from here. People that have an understanding of what we're trying to do. But yeah, of course, you have a few people, the staff we have here, that have been with me for a long time, and then people outside of the game. So yeah, I think there's always a few people you can really rely on, but also, to be honest as well, and give you a different opinion. It's not like you don't want loads of sycophants around you. Just you want some honesty and some perspective, and so there's some amazing people who can give you that.
Can I ask an update on Nico Raskin as well? Could we expect him?
Yeah, he's in the squad. Yeah, he's trained really well this week. I think even that situation, maybe it's a necessary thing for this group to improve, to understand what is really important. I think it will be a really important period for Nico and his growth as a human being and a player, and I think it will be good for me in the long term as well to really to learn from it. So he's in a good place. He's back in the squad. I'm looking forward to having him back in.
Last couple of guys, Michael and Jane, please.
Russell, Patrick Stewart, I think, has also been kind of targeted as such by some supporters. What's your relationship like with him, and do you feel that is unfair that he's been singled out as well?
So I have a good relationship with Patrick. Obviously, we don't deal with each other every day because he's down here and we're at the training ground. But I said to Patrick, it's like I think this club has been used by some individuals over the last however long to come here and progress their career, to have the status of being attached to the football club in the city, enjoy that. And I think there's been a lot of people come and go that have had that bit of it and enjoyed that bit of it. And in Patrick, in the ownership, in Kevin, you've got people that actually really care about making this club like sustainable and successful again, and to do it in a way that the club continues to have some success. So we know it's going to take some work to get back to that. And I think when you're in a role that I'm in, Patrick's in, of course you're always going to be, if it's not going so well, you're always going to be a target of frustration. But what I would say to people is, like, he genuinely really cares about the people here. He genuinely really cares about trying to give the club something to, like, build from. And also he didn't inherit a place that was really flying and ticking along and the culture's great and all that stuff. So I think it takes time, again, off the pitch to change things and to, especially with the level of scrutiny that you have. So my impression of Patrick, the owners, Kevin, the people in leadership are good people, honest people that are not here to be attached to the fame and the level of importance or status you have with this job. They're here to actually come and make a big difference and to try and help this club not have the problems that it's had in the past. So I'm sure it's frustrating for him as it is for me, but also I think he's a strong enough character to do it. Otherwise you don't find yourself at a club like he was at for a long, long time, and also a club like this in the first place. So I think inside the building he has a huge amount of support, as I feel I do as well right now. So ultimately we can't control the rest, and he's a more experienced and wise man than me with all the experience he's got. That's a nice way to say he's much older than me, but I'm sure he's more than capable of dealing with all of that. And as I said, he's been really consistent. And I think in a leadership role, that's all you want is consistency. And ultimately, we have to win matches. And come the end of the season, hopefully that noise has died down because we've done well.
That's only our last quick one, Jay.
Russell, obviously we've spoken about the fans and what they're thinking off the back of last weekend as well. How significant is this match on Saturday? I know they're all big games for Rangers, but this one specifically, how significant is it, do you think?
For us as a group, it's really important. It's really important to win a game. We have a chance to be in a semi-final of a cup. It gives us a chance to really achieve winning some silverware, which is what we're here for. And it just gives us a chance to put a performance on the pitch that we actually like and we actually enjoy and wins us the game and something we can build from. So in terms of all the rest, I can't answer that, how significant that is, because like I said, I can't control it. What I want to see is a team that plays with the intensity and the togetherness that I see on the training pitch and I saw at the top of a hill after a long walk.